What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today we got one. I should have done one of these earlier. This is obviously another World Scrim VOD review, but today we are watching Xunge, the world champion, one of my favorite Chinese players to watch. It's been so long since we've done a Xunge VOD review. It's honestly been too long because this guy actually, a lot of Chinese players, it's awkward to watch their VODs because they stream on Chinese streaming websites that are not the easiest to get onto if you're from North America. But Xunge actually has, you can see a beautiful quality stream. I'm so hyped to watch him. We got the Chinese style, all the stuff flying by at the top there. So I don't know, translate that top one for any Chinese speakers in the chat can translate what that top one was. That was only like 3 characters. That should be pretty easy. But let's watch from Xunge. We also have an amazing opener for Xunge here with this early Cypher opener here, and he's immediately going to take Shop Glitch, which, if you guys have not played this combination, Cypher Reroll with Shop Glitch, you will see people, even without a Cypher opener, take Shop Glitch and say, I'm going to force Cypher. Maybe just one LeBlanc. They don't even have the Draven. But this really is the ideal, just perfect spot to play. Also, sorry, that was me getting invited to a game, not you. Don't go check your League client. Right? You've probably already done it, so I'm sorry about that. Also, speaking of the World Championships, I have a really exciting announcement. I am going to be co-streaming the final day of the World Championships with special guest John Sandman. You might know him from Rocket League. He also does a lot of like Pokemon Pocket content, and I don't know, I'm excited to do it with him. He is a really good like hype man. I think it's gonna be a really fun stream where I'm the analytical one breaking down all of this stuff, and he's gonna be asking a lot of smart questions, hyping us up when we get to the finals. We're probably going to start after the first couple of games because John has some like kind of time stuff, so we're going to be streaming probably games 3 or 4 until we're done. So going to be really hyped, and I'm so excited. One of the really hyped things that we have is we actually have a spectator slot in the lobby, so we are going to be able to jump around, watch whichever player we want to, focus on if Dish Soap or Wei Iverson is in the lobby, I'm going to be watching him and just making sure we lock in there. And also, this was expected. The Chinese websites do this weird thing where they have like after every 2-hour section they jump between the VODs, which is quite weird, but that's how it is. But don't freak out. But it's gonna be so hype. I'm really excited. And Worlds, by the way, starts tomorrow. It starts on Friday morning if you're in America's time zone. If you're in EU, I guess it's like Friday afternoon, and then if you're in like Asia, it's like Friday evening. Really want to find a Galio here on Carousel, and there is one. Oh, this spot is just so gross for Xunge. It's just an absolutely insane spot. And Xunge is someone who I can really expect to pilot one of these spots to just perfectly. He is so good at these kind of crazy win cons, where you have to sack your entire HP and get into a spot where, it's going to be scary, right? Whenever you're playing Cypher, you end up in a scary spot. The biggest thing is we have to just make sure that we are not winning in these fights, but we're scouting the lobby, Xunge being very diligent here, and we're not seeing a lot of people who are in position to really hard contest us. It actually looks kind of fine. We can also talk about item slam wise. We made the Gunblade slam really early, which tends to be a pretty bad early slam. Usually you're not very hyped to slam a Gunblade, but it's a fantastic LeBlanc item because of the way her ability works. Every single time she stacks up another sigil, and so you want to play for these longer fights, especially if you have like a big Galio with, say, like a Gargoyle on him or something like that. Also, really nice stuff from Xunge. Removes the Draven. Is that enough to lose the fight? And we also did clump here. We are into a Graves. I think we did it. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh, the LeBlanc cast. Oh my god. Dr. O ends up losing the fight to us. Oh, if LeBlanc hadn't cast there. He did everything that he could there. That was nicely played by Xunge. Really tragic, actually, that we end up winning that fight because we lose our loss streak. I will say, though, oftentimes when you do play this comp, and especially looking at our spot here, you'll see people do this thing where they'll actually cash out early. So we might actually see a very early cash out from Xunge in this spot here, just saying, you know what, I have LeBlanc 2 Draven 2, my board is quite strong. I really don't mind just taking a cash out here. Speaking of not minding stuff here, we are going to make a vow, interestingly enough, and just kind of disregard the tier item for LeBlanc. I'm a little bit surprised, but I think his idea is here, we already have a Draven too, and these items are good onto Draven, so we might as well just slam these onto him, make the Vow, which is just in general a very solid tank item, onto the Galio here, and then we can, you know, start playing for whatever else, a third Draven item with Bow here, so, you know, Last Whisper, Kraken, something like that, Giant Slayer. I mean, a lot of, even Red Buff you could think about making here. Probably not Priz Ticket. It would be kind of funny because you get these free rerolls and then those will transition into more free rerolls, but I doubt it's Endless Hordes either. Probably not Blue Battery, probably not Gargantuan, probably not Scoped. I mean, worst case, you could take the Blinding Speed here. He's looking at the, okay, he's looking at Priz, okay. Yeah, I mean, you have to take 1 buff, 2 buff here. I feel like the blue buff is great for LeBlanc. The red buff, you can play on Draven for a long time. I mean, this is too good. It is interesting that he was prioritizing Prismatic Ticket there. So Xunge does not mind taking double Econ Augment in this spot. I'm kind of surprised because I would be a little bit afraid of taking double Econ Augment here. Also, kind of surprised that the red ends up going on the LeBlanc here. I guess his thought is we're really close to building this last Draven, and like the bow is going to become a Draven item very likely. Could become like a Void Staff onto LeBlanc, but probably not. And so we might as well just play for having triple item at Draven. I am also kind of surprised that we are not, we're not using this last item anvil here. I guess the idea is we are going to sack until carousel, and then we can pop the anvil after carousel, even just on carousel, honestly, and then get a double slam here. We can slam onto, I mean, not, yeah, we can slam onto Galio, slam onto Draven. Must be the idea, but it's a little, I don't know, I'm surprised. Could also be that he's afraid that he's going to be too strong if he slams third Draven item here, but we'll see. We'll see what he ends up going for. We are taking not the best losses in the world. The fact that we won that fight gave us some HP, but we're 50 here. Yeah, we're not the most healthy, honestly. These are pretty rough fights, and I mean, at this level of play, everyone's board is going to be very strong. He is also playing for the more just kind of like big cash out version that is a Zed there on carousel, which I mean, that's 5 Cypher and a pretty good component. He was looking at the spat, it looked like. Interesting. Okay. I mean, the spat, especially if you end up getting things like Reforger, can be a lot of stuff. You like Rapid Fire +1 could be something, and then you can play it for like the long Croc, the Renekton later. As far as other stuff, I don't think there's anything else that's like really that OP in this comp besides the Rapid Fire +1. But we don't end up getting it. We get the sword, which I'm fine making Giant Slayer here, Giant Slayer, and then open this Anvil here. We are fighting a pretty weak board here. Wow, this guy is so weak here. Why? What is going on with this board, actually? Because that's a Graves 1. He's level 6. I mean, we still end up actually getting 10-0'd, but how is he Graves 1 at this point in the game? Whenever you're playing around Graves, you're usually rolling a lot more and just, you know, hitting Graves 2 ideally before the end of stage 3. So a bit crazy here. But all right, take another loss here, and we have gotten back into our loss streak, which is, you know, the dream in this spot here. We're also already ready to pre-level up to level 7 for our wolves. Obviously, we are going to get our shop glitch value again here, so you really want to pre-level to 7 so that you're getting all those rolls on level 7. It's honestly not a bad loss here, 4 unit loss, not too bad. Oh, 4 stacks off a 290 cash out is tragic though, because you probably have to cash. You have to cash quick here, by the way, because we need to roll. Yeah, you have to do this because, oh my god, and I can't believe we bought that entire shop out. We do end up getting a pan here, which it's not the worst. It does feel bad that, yeah, all these bruisers are just absolute trash here. So our cash out for almost 290 stacks was just a pan at the end of the day, which kind of gross. I don't love this cash out, honestly, but at least it does open up that long Renekton that we talked about. Just getting rapid fire in very easily. We've seen before Jarvan so nice on this board, especially when you get to a Zed here, and we're so close to all of our units, so we are just going to roll it down here, make the rapid fire emblem. I'm just going to throw that onto the LeBlanc for now, and then finish off Evan's Shroud here onto this guy, and then finish off another tank item, that Gargoyle, like we talked about earlier. So our item situation looks fantastic. Our econ situation, especially with how hard we're hitting, is fantastic. I mean, the spot looks very good, and our HP spot's not even bad, 31 HP. This is a great spot for Xunge, and we really just have to stick the landing on last augment here, get something solid enough. I mean, I don't dislike bulky buddies. We don't really need the econ augment. I mean, you're down to 31 HP, so Spirit Link is usually an easy take in this comp. It's funny that he even thinks about that augment for as long as he does there, but yep, easy pickup here, Spirit Link. I mean, it makes perfect sense. You want to sack a lot with this comp, and once you've sacked all this HP, you are going to be very, very, very strong. And yeah, I mean, the spot looks fantastic. The only thing that you could say you're a little bit afraid of in Xunge's spot is we are only 5 Gallios, and you are kind of going to need Galio 3 to actually, cap out high enough to end up doing well this game. If you sack a bunch of HP and then end up, capping out low with just a Galio 2, you're going to be pretty upset. Upside is we do still have this golden duplicator here. We could have used it on Draven this whole time, but we don't want to, right? We're very strong now after the cash out, rapid fire +1, hitting the LeBlanc 3. Even LeBlanc 3 with Draven 2 and everything 2 is enough in this spot. This guy also just playing a normal kind of Cypher game, Cypher cash out into like more like Xayah plus Aphelios board. And the second, really nice from Xunge to zero in on that board, say, it's not like this guy's going Draven reroll, but they're holding some Dravens, so we might as well wait for them to sell Draven, then they start rolling, and then we roll, and we immediately see a Draven there. So rewarded for just, good TFT play. The big question coming up here, though, is are we just going to roll on 7 to guarantee this Galio 3, or are we going to push 8? I think we're strong enough to push 8, and I think we can do that and be pretty happy about it, but we'll see what Xunge wants here. That is a Zed on Carousel if we want it, but looks like he wants better. No, yeah, he's going to take it. I like Zed on Carousel here a lot. The 2 strategist from Ziggs is meh, it's pretty underwhelming, and 5 Cypher is a lot more stats on all of our relevant units, so I think this is an easy addition. And yeah, he's even just going to go straight level up here and even make the IE. Yeah, I've seen this a lot more recently, is just full damage onto the Zed. Your Zed doesn't need to be tanky on this board, right? Because he's I don't want to say a support unit, but he's just a damage unit, right? You don't win fights with this board by having Zed go infinite. You win fights by having Zed plus Draven assassinate units, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. Zed with the IE, ton of damage to the Urgot, and then Draven assassinates him. Chef kiss. That's exactly how every single fight you want to go is. That's also why you see we have Draven on the far right corner, and then we have Zed 3 from the left here so that he can dash straight to the backline. So perfect situation there. That's exactly what you're looking for. And now we can just roll on 8, find the Galio on 8. This guy's holding on to 3 of them, which is a bit annoying, but, not too big of a deal. And there's not really that many more out of the pool. I mean, it's not that common of a unit to be seen. That guy's playing Morgana reroll, so that's why he's holding on to it for the Bastion. But, I mean, aside from there being another Cypher player, which usually there's only going to be 1 per lobby, because if you are contested in this comp and you aren't the one who hits, you are going the fastest 8th of your life, because you cash out, don't start winning fights, and then you just die. So luckily, Xunge is in the opposite spot here, where he is the person who is chilling and very happy. What? Double? Oh my God. I mean, that's why he's the GOAT. That is why he's the GOAT. Zed2 as well. Bro, he doesn't even need this duplicator. All right. Look, you know what? This is honestly, for NA's sake, this is good, because Xunge is getting all of his good luck out before the final day. Last item that we have here, I mean, we're looking for something onto Zed. I mean, I think Hodge synergy with IE is too. Ooh, really? What is belt? Guard breaker? He can remove her, yeah, and go guard breaker here. Rapid fire there. Okay, yeah, guard breaker. He's, once again, this idea, we don't need healing onto Zed. We just want him to do as much damage as possible. That's the idea. Wow. Kind of blows me away, but I mean, especially with the rapid fire emblem, now that we're Zed2, we move that over. Even though, I don't know, LeBlanc 3 versus Zed2, it's kind of close in terms of which one's stronger, but Zed is just going to use the extendo range from the rapid fire much more. You do actually have to adjust the positioning of Zed, right? 3 from the left, it might actually mess you up here, which is kind of funny. Well, we rolled down a lot here. I'm surprised, but I think it's just because we have someone that we're very afraid of in this lobby. Also, Zed all the way over here. Yeah, it's this guy, GD Royal here, with a ton of 2-star 5 costs. Our Zed is doing good work here and not actually dying just yet, but I don't know if it's enough. Yeah, oh, that board is so strong. Just patience, study, bunch of belts, so good. Managed to just go straight to 9 with the Cypher cash out, and Urgot 2, I mean, there has been enough said about how broken this Urgot unit is, and just this Urgot comp in general. I will say that positioning last round didn't do Xunge any favors. Having Zed on the edge there meant that he, immediately took aggro and died. I mean, he lived for a while, but he still died pretty quickly. So yeah, not ideal there. All right. Rotate into the Graves player here, who, I mean, has hit a lot of stuff, but I think our board's just too high cap for this. And yeah, we win this fight. Looking like we are easily going to top 4, but past that, it's actually a bit scary here. Last LeBlanc item here. I'm gonna Giant Slayer, seems solid enough. You could go for Void Staff. We don't have any really AP damage aside from this though, so that's what I'd be looking at here. Takes BT. BT. Huh. I don't know what this is. Why do we want BT here? We're gonna remove her and then move, yeah, we're gonna move Rapid Fire back down. Okay. I mean, Interesting. Okay, so he moves the rapid fire back down to LeBlanc. The idea being that BT is enough better than GS here. We do get the healing finally onto the Zed, which, as we've seen, we haven't prioritized that highly, but, you know, as a third item onto him is pretty good. It's an interesting idea, yeah, to move the rapid fire back down. I mean, it's solid enough onto the LeBlanc as well. Kind of funny that we bounced it. We had it on LeBlanc, moved it back up to the Zed. Now that we have a third Zed item, we're going to move it back down to LeBlanc. And it's also probably just that he doesn't favor GS that highly onto the LeBlanc. I kind of would have liked it, though, just because of the fact that there's so many big tanks in this game. You know, that Zac, we have to get through the triple Warmog Zac. Oh, my God. We do lock in top 4 here, but it's a bit scary. We are praying that we just fight Lashao instead of Royal here because Royal is so strong. We rotate into him again. Okay, the dream is that we assassinate this Urgot here. Zed decently positioned on second cast to go there, but then does get blown up. No, we are definitely losing this fight here. So down to, 1 HP. Lashao taking a loss is good for us there because the dream at this point is we can dodge for as long as possible, not end up in a spot where we are, you know, rotating into Royal for a while. Also, the other dream is that we just hit 3 here, which we can see we're holding all these 4 costs just to pray for this kind of crazy, but maybe doable dream of hitting Z3 with the free rolls. We don't get any more Zeds, and obviously we still have the dupe here, so we're not the furthest off. And yeah, that's another one. Wait a minute. Hold the line here. He's also holding all the other 4 costs just to keep the option open here. But now, after rolling down a bit, we realize, we're not that close, so we're not going to go for that. Do end up taking the GS here, which is kind of hilarious, and then move rapid fire over just to Vi here. Blech. I mean, the idea is just that any, GS is going to be better than just 2 rapid fire onto the LeBlanc. I think it's a smart call here, and we kill off Lashao. That's big here. All right, 3 Zeds off with almost no gold. We are actually 5 on the Nico as well here, so yeah, okay, and 5 on this as well. It almost looks like he saw someone. Maybe there's someone holding on to Nico there on bench. I don't see it versus this guy, but maybe versus the other player, though. We are into Royal again here. I mean, the dream. I mean, actually, Zed did really good work there of assassinating the Urgot, but Zac is such a closer in this comp, man. Even though we killed off the Urgot, Zac just closes it out and farms us. That is so tragic. But a solid third from Mr. Xunge here, and I think Royal. I mean, Royal spot is so disgusting. I mean, this is the comp that you're going to see win a lot of games over the weekend. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Worlds, right, starts tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to co-stream every day. I mean, I got to go to work tomorrow, honestly. But like I said, final day of the championships. I know John's going to hop on after probably around game 3 or 4. I might, if I can wake up, start on game 1 and 2, but I wouldn't count on it, but guaranteed to be streaming for the last few games so we can be there to see the champion get crowned, which is going to be so hype. So go drop me a follow. I'll leave his Twitch down below if you want to drop him a follow as well. Going to be an absolute blast. And yeah, can't wait. And I will be doing, obviously, VOD reviews of the, day 1 and day 2 of the World Finals starting tomorrow. So that's going to be really hype as well. All right. I will see you guys for all of that. Thanks as always for watching. And I will see you guys. Do you guys see my new figure that I got? You can see in the back. It's probably hard because it's so far. You got to like really zoom in, but it's a Dark Magician figure. Maybe I don't know how I would show you guys actually, because it'd be kind of annoying to like pick it up and bring it over. But yeah, new figure. Check it out. And it moved one of my figures down. Yeah, you can barely see Sukuna like leaning a little bit to the right. He's leaning slightly out of frame, but I had to move Sukuna and that's Aaron over there. I had to move them down. We kind of got 3 villains down there, and then we have Saitama who's gonna fight them, I guess. So, and that's Hanji up there for anyone. Hanji from Attack on Titan, if anyone is once and there's even more. There's more on this one down below, but you can't even see that. I'm gatekeeping that. Royal wins the lobby, by the way, to the surprise of no one. All right, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.